Gotta give it a nice shine.
Psst, we're on.
Oh, hey guys, Edgeman here. Just admire my HF Undisputed title. Cool, huh? Alright, enough of that. Bet you guys are wondering what the show is going to be called. Let's check the votes. Due to advanced computer technology and a box of crayons, we have tallied all the votes. We had some trouble with the Florida votes. I'm looking at you two, Lycos and Gino. Alright, without further ado, let me introduce to you the name of the show. Short and simple. To the point. Just want to thank everyone who voted and sent in suggestions. Let's get this show started. Today's topic of the day deals with video games. Video games have been the subject of frequent controversy and censorship due to the depiction of graphic violence, sexual themes, and consumption of alcohol, tobacco, and illegal drugs. Today, we're going to focus on the violence in video games. Certain politicians and annoying soccer moms are trying to rid violence from video games because, as they put it, can drastically corrupt the child's development. I don't want to sound cold or anything, but I believe the problem does not lie with the video game itself, but it lies with the child and how the parents raise said child. Many level-minded people can tell the difference between fantasy and reality. They know that stealing a car and running over a hooker is bad, or even decapitating someone's head off in a fight is worse. Just because a person sees somebody kill someone does not mean that they will go out and do it. Even without violent gains, most people who have done such things would probably have done that anyway. Contrary to popular belief, children actually represent a minority in the video game market. The vast majority of game players are adults, whose much greater disposable income represents a vastly more attractive market to game developers. So we adults would like some violence in our games. When you really think about it, there has been some violence in the early years of video games, from gobbling up ghosts to stomping on turtles. Sure, it may just seem like cartoon violence and comic mischief, but it has played a small part of the industry. Here are some comments from people when asked, what are your thoughts on violence in video games? Rotita writes in, I don't think violent video games make kids violent. It's how the kids perceive the game. I played violent video games when I was young, and I'm not going around killing people. I think children that don't develop abstract thinking are the ones we should worry about. Nico writes in, violence is what makes video games fun. Lycos writes in, I believe that video game violence is not the reason that people get violent in the real world, but a way to avoid it by letting out your violent intentions against something that cannot cause you to get in trouble. The bottom line, violence in video games do not make children go crazy and have murderous tendencies. They're already crazy and have murderous tendencies. Blame is just passed on to video games so that the parents do not want to accept responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, for today's guest, let me introduce to you the owner of the Hell's Flames website, forums, and server, Nick. However, he could not be here today, so reading on behalf of him, let me introduce to you to my good friend, name withheld.
Hiya, it's great to be on the show about all that I have worked on over the past few years.
Please state who you are and what you do for Hell's Flames.
Well, I'm the owner of Hell's Flames. I run the server, making sure that most people are happy with what goes on. I run the website, but I tend to forget about that a lot, as it isn't that important, and it sucks. I also control the forums, and I tend to keep those up to date a lot.
How was Hell's Flames created?
It's a funny story. Okay, maybe not. And it was back in the summer of 2005. I was just joining some clans after Stormy had gotten me to join NetBattle. I didn't like that most servers I liked weren't on when I was. So I decided to make my own server. I liked the clan idea a little, and I had a few people, and I spent the whole night making up the ranking on the clan system. After that, it just took off.
Is there anything you're working on or plan on working on that you would like to share with everyone?
Well, I have thought about making a better site, but I just don't have the know-how to do so. I really don't have much else in mind for HF for now.
Anything else you would like to say to our audience?
Nah, I'm good. Just don't mess around in school. Make sure you do all your work. Yeah, who am I kidding? Just pass.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. It's always fun to give some info to the HFers.
Hey, guess what, guys? This week we have some viewer mail. Alright. Rotita writes in, "Hey Average, out of every artwork I have done, which do you think is your favorite and why?" After going through all of your artwork, I have to say I cannot pick just one favorite. Here are some I enjoyed. I like this one, Surfing the Internet. Seems calm and serene. You seem so interested on what's happening on the screen. And this one, Hi! Just so darn cute. That's all I gotta say about that one. And who can forget this one? Think twice before you. Based on a funny conversation between Rotita and yours truly. Your artistic skills are phenomenal. Keep up the good work. Soren writes in, "I like the movie and would personally like to see more of these. I think it shows how great of a server we are, since most, if not any of the other servers do not have multiple video productions that they call their own. Don't you?" I agree. It's wonderful that HF has multiple things going on for it, ranging from Hell's Flames Chronicles from Man of Power, to the Hell's Flames Championships from me, and to the early video productions from you, and now to this show. It just goes to show that we HF veterans care by creating popular media for the users who visit Hell's Flames. P.S. Can you do a backflip? Sure, why not? If so, let us see. Hey, what's that? Lycos writes in, "Interesting tricks you did with your powers. Didn't you know you had duplication? Neither did I. The average man isn't so average anymore. Anyway, what's your view on people that idle a lot, like me? I can never quite figure out why do people just come to the server and just leave, or do something else while not hanging out there, or logging off. It's strange since you're telling people that you're there, but you're not. Why do people sign on just to say, okay, I'm here, gonna play the game now, see you later, and still remain on the server? Just boggles the mind. I know you don't want to miss out on anything, but you gotta choose one or the other." Juck writes in, "It took me about an hour to think of what to say, but I finally figured it out. The show is so awesome that I want to talk without using the spacebar blindfolded, backwards, with one finger, and pouring orange juice all over my keyboard, so that I can stop feeling like I watched something so awesome that I would do such a thing. I hope you pronounced my name wrong." Interesting comment you had there, Glenn. Thanks for writing. Alright guys, as always, if you have a comment or a question you want like me to answer, PM me at the forums. Subject line, viewer mail. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see more of Rotita's artwork, go to rotita.sheezy.com. I think she'll love this free publicity. Until then, keep those games from your insane friends, and I'll see you guys later.